That is the Luzz Pickleball ZZ Attack. So they make an array of paddles in really cool colors and patterns, mostly for beginners in that like $50 to $70 range. And it just so happens that they also decided to sign one of my favorite old pros, Mr. Frank Anthony Davis, of his singles fame, to the company, and this is his preferred paddle. So let's tell you just a little bit about this. The ZZ Attack is a thermoformed carbon fiber paddle. Its core thickness is 16 millimeters, and its average weight is around 8 ounces. So it's going to be on the lighter side of the swing weight, the overall weight of the paddle, which means that the twist weight is going to be a lower number and won't be quite as stable as some of the heavier head-heavy paddles that are out there. Now this can be fixed very easily with lead tape, and we'll talk about that a little bit here in a moment. The paddle length is 16.5 inches. It's a traditional elongated shape. It has a paddle width of 7.5 inches and a grip length of 5.5 inches, which I think is key because most of the top paddles are going to be in that 5.25 to 5.5, even 5.75 or 6-inch handles these days, with the Tui being a big deal in pickleball. The grip circumference is 4.125 inches. It has a raw T700 carbon fiber face with a reactive honeycomb core. It has a foam edge wall, as most Gen 2 paddles do. I think this paddle does the absolute best. To get way ahead of myself is the spin that is generated with it. The carbon fiber on this doesn't feel any different than a lot of the other paddles out there. But I will say that as I was playing with it, my drives were roping over the net. And if I hit drives from a couple of feet behind the baseline, I was able to get it where it was roping down close to their ankles, below their knees, even at the kitchen line. Do not get me wrong though, guys. This is not a power paddle. This is a control paddle through and through. So when I did choose to hit drives with this paddle, I noticed that it had a ton of spin. Also noticed on my serves that the ball was dipping really hard, and because it's not a power paddle, I could swing as hard as I want on my serves and a lot of my thirds, in that I wasn't worried that the ball was going to sail out. And a lot of times when I'm swinging as hard as I can, I was getting that ball really deep in the baseline. So it was very effective for my game. Control of this paddle was quite refreshing. As I played with it, I enjoyed dinking with it. I countered really well with it. It is not a top tier paddle in that it's not going to do anything exceptionally well. It's going to do everything really well. So as I said, my initial take was meh, and then I played with it for a week and liked it so much that I played my men's league with it last night, ended up going 3-1, beating some really good teams, and walked away feeling really good about this paddle. And that if you're looking for a paddle that is lightweight, that you can modify with some lead tape or tungsten tape that you find out there, and you want a paddle that has a smaller handle that you can put 1, 2, maybe 3 overwraps on, depending on how thick that handle you want it to be, and you want a paddle around $100 that will last and you'll be able to play with for 6 to 12 months, I think this is going to be a paddle for you.